Because reading is what?
Fundamental.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of What You Reading.
And
I'm Lisa.
I'm Delaze. Welcome back, guys. And so, like I just mentioned, we are reviewing the book Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. It is I want to say a 5-part series book that we've been reading. We're not doing the whole story review today. We're actually just doing chapters 1 through 20. And then, as time goes on, we'll do the rest of them. So this is what we're doing today. The story is the series is really, really good, actually.
Yeah.
So if you guys are interested in it, definitely check it out. You can find those stories on Audible, everywhere that you can get a book. You can find it there.
Everywhere, literally
Everywhere.
And the crazy thing about it is I see her on the Today Show.
Yes.
And you know what she said? She has the next 4 books planned out.
I'm not surprised by that. First of all, she just wrote another series. There's another series that she wrote called Crescent City, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's her that did Crescent. Yeah, also very popular. So all of her books so far have been doing extremely well.
How big is her imagination? Can you imagine? She already saying that she got the next 4 books planned out.
Yeah.
In her head, where she know what they're gonna be. And she writing this other series.
Yeah, I don't understand how she does it. Anytime I think I could write a little bit, I see this stuff and I'm like, girl, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane.
Because we was like, yeah, we
I know. No, I realized very quickly that I cannot, and that's why the story has not been completed, girl.
I complete that story.
Girl, I want to complete it because I told you how I want to do the ending, and I want to do it because I think the ending would be dope. But girl, the way that these people be doing it, I'm like, I don't understand. Like, girl,
you gotta be like her. That imagination gotta be
yeah.
I cannot imagine. Okay, let's get into it, girl.
Let's get into it.
All right, guys. So if you guys remember at the end of the last story, what was it?
Mist and Fury.
Mist and Fury. She had told her, she made them believe that Sam put this whole thing on her. She really wanted to go with Tamlin. He messed with her mind, even though really that's not what happened.
Right.
So we're picking up back where she is back now in the spring court with Tamlin.
Yep.
So she's back in the spring court with Tamlin. And the book starts off with where she's painting. Of course, she's painting all this stuff, but she don't even really care about painting. And she just trying to occupy her mind and also make them believe that she's the old Pharaoh, which she is not. So, that it kind of picks up right there, but also in the beginning, it talks about the backstory of Rhysand and being in the war before and how he was like looking for Cassian and all this stuff. It really didn't, it really wasn't a lot. I mean, it wasn't a lot, and I feel like we really didn't need it.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of
cleared you up. You kind of knew.
Yeah.
It kind of cleared you up to know some stuff, but it wasn't needed.
Yeah.
So anyway, so it picks up where she is. She's painting and she's irritated and she don't want to be there, but she like, okay, now I'm being a double agent and I'm telling Rhysand stuff, but she only telling Rhysand stuff limited through the bond because she don't want them to know that she is who she is.
Right.
So they think that they really do think self-illusion.
Lucian been peeped. He was like, I don't know, girl. You don't seem like you.
Right. But Lucian and her had such a friendship.
Yeah.
When they was there, I feel like that's how he kind of know.
Yeah. And same with Miss Lady. Why can't I never remember her name? The lady with the nephews.
Oh,
Was it
I can't
Anne?
remember her name. I can't remember her name. It started with A something. I can't remember her
I can't,
name.
but you know who
But again,
I'm talking about.
guys, it's a lot of names
Yeah, it's a lot of
in these
names.
stories. It's a
Yeah.
lot of people that you have to kind of remember. So
Yeah.
whoever the girl, the lady was like kind of
She
like
was one of
the like
the
like
one
the
of the
hand,
house
like the
people. Yeah.
yeah. She's not like the maid, but she's like a lady. If that makes
Yeah.
sense. Not like
Mm-hmm.
a lady, but is that what it is? Like a kind of like a lady to the queen, but she wasn't really the queen.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, I guess that's what you could call her.
Yeah, so she kind of just like got her stuff ready and her club. I don't know what they call, but
Yeah.
anyway, she took care of her. She knew she knew what was up.
Yeah.
So she's she's like pretending that she's this person who she ain't. She being a double agent. She also put a glamour on the rest of them so they wouldn't see her tattoo of because now her and Rasan are really married. But they don't know it. That's because she put a glamour on them to not see the tattoo that she had already had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like she was not really like trying to feed him too much stuff, but she
Yeah,
was not.
because she was worried that they were gonna pick up on the bond, like they could sense the magic. So she was trying to kind of minimize it as much as possible.
Right, because she had all this extra magic that they didn't even know that she even had.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
So mind y'all, if you don't remember, when in the other story, she all the stuff had been orchestrated through Hybern, and it had to do with Ianthe and Tam Tam and all them. So now that they're back at the court, she hasn't seen Ianthe yet, and she's not too pleased with her.
right. Which I feel like nobody
I
liked her.
don't either, and I'm like, why is she here?
Like,
Why is she here?
wow.
Just
She really just popped up out of nowhere anyway.
Yeah, she just wasted up space and telling people what to
Right?
do.
So push come to shove, baby, she disappeared,
Okay,
remember?
she do not be playing. She be out, poof, gone.
It's so funny because on that anime, I know you don't know Inuyasha.
Oh, I haven't watched
It's a little flea.
Inuyasha.
It's a little flea on there, and he always up in the business. But when stuff happen, that mud disappears.
And that's what I ain't be doing. She be
That's what she
there and
reminded
gone.
me of.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
She be there and
right.
gone.
Mm-hmm. So what Tama did to her is that he promised her he would like let her be in on the meetings and all this stuff like that. But she just kind of annoyed with Tama. Like she just don't even really want to fool with him. She annoyed by him. He like a pest to her, but at the same time, she gotta pretend like she love him. But they ain't done nothing though. They like not even like sleeping together or nothing.
Mm-hmm. She got her room, he got his.
Right. So, and I guess she's like, okay, well, we're gonna have this meeting with Ianthe.
Yeah, Ianthe, yeah.
And so when they get to that darn meeting, she wants to tell like her, oh, I'm sorry, or what happened with your sisters, and she like, girl, she wasn't even putting up no front. She was like, girl, you know you was wrong for that. You didn't have to do them like that. You was wrong. I don't like you because of that. And she tried to explain herself and try to say, well, I did it because of this and I did it because of that, but she didn't care about none of
She
that.
said, don't you want to have your sisters be around so that they can be around for eternity just like you? Girl, bye. Girl, bye. You tried it. You tried it.
Because you took all kind of stuff away from them when you did that.
Right.
Especially Elaine.
Yeah.
So she still tried to explain or whatever, but whatever, she didn't really care. They was like getting ready for wasn't they getting ready for the solstice?
Well, so they were getting ready for a solstice, but let's not forget that they had Dagnan and Branna, which are Hybern's, I want to say niece and nephew, and Jorian that was going to be coming to stay with them so that they could go do some stuff with the wall for Hybern. So they were going to be coming in and they were going to be having the solstice, but they were also going to be there, which that was a whole thing in itself.
Right, because them twins was weird.
Them twins was weird. Yeah,
them twins was weird. Like they was like like the female, what was her name?
Branna. Branna.
Branna.
Mm-hmm.
And they were
Mm-hmm.
twins, and they had like this weird closeness.
Yeah.
That Dagnan did not speak with it. Like she spoke for him.
Yeah.
Like
but they
made the
also
decision.
were Daimati, so they could like talk to each other via mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Right.
that was probably another thing. But they were weird.
They were weird though. Like so weird that it kept explaining that they probably had a closeness that they probably shouldn't have had.
Yeah. It was super weird.
They kept thinking they were very intimate with each other because everybody kept looking at it like, why do you like that? Like,
yeah. And they were like, yeah, we got rooms for y'all. And they're like, no, we gonna stay in the same room. They was like, oh,
right.
Okay. All right. If y'all must.
No, because when I did that, I was like,
right. I was like, okay, y'all stay in the same room, I guess. Like, that's cool.
So they end up like having that little dinner. They ain't like each other. I don't feel like nobody like Farrah at this point. Like, but Farrah was peeping game on all of it. Was asking unnecessary questions. But Farrah also had like this whole thing set up where like she was trying to get people against each other. She was pulling information out of people that didn't need to. Information that wouldn't have came out unless she asked these unnecessary questions.
Mm-hmm.
And so throughout the time, I guess they just was like kind of they were preparing for solstice, and they had this like so it's like the day of the solstice, and they had like they were going to pray.
Yeah, but real quick before we get there, I just want to mention this because it's kind of sort of important. So while they were at dinner with Dagda, Branna, Jorian, and all Tam Tam and Lucian and all them, Ianthe, they were sitting to dinner or lunch or whatever they were eating, and she, Farrah's been kind of trying to keep her mind and stuff sharp and making sure that her shields are up. And she noticed that they were trying to, Dagnan and Brandon were trying to get into everybody else's head so that they would do what they wanted them to do. But she sensed it, and she sent out her own little warning, and it threw them off guard because they were not expecting that. And nobody said anything, and the table got real quiet. So now they peeping what she might be doing just because of that. Not what she might be doing, but just the fact that she has a little bit more power than they may have expected.
And they like, what's she got something we don't know about. Like,
yeah. Okay, go ahead. Because the solstice is funny.
Yeah, so we get to the solstice, like they wake up real early in the morning, everybody annoyed because don't nobody like Ianthe, and Ianthe wants them to all wake up in the morning because they need to pray before solstice.
Right, got to get up before Jesus.
In my mind, I imagine them going up in like a mountain area.
Yeah, I did too.
So they went up on the mountain or whatever, and they was Ianthe was saying this prayer, being annoyed, and everybody rolling their eyes at her. And she was like after she like did her like little prayer, like this whole like magical thing happened, and she thought she was about to get blessed by the cauldron, but baby, the cauldron did not bless her.
No, it was the sun.
What's it? What?
It was the sun. No, so she had this whole thing set up so that when the sun started to rise, it would look like it was coming from within her. And so that when she had her whole arms and everything raised, it would look like the sun was shining through her into her arms to bless them for the day or whatever. And that wasn't what ended up happening. They had Farrah was smart. She had set a little gentle breeze to come by because they had gone out there earlier, Ianthe and her little team, and marked it so that she was in the right position for where the sun was going to be when it started to rise. And she kind of sent a little gust of wind to move it. So now Farrah was kind of in the area that Ianthe was supposed to be in, and now Ianthe is off to the side. So as the sun is starting to rise, she thinking, oh, it's about to be me. So homegirl got her arms up and her eyes closed, and she's like, the sun is about to welcome us into the day. And the sun starts shining through Farrah. But the thing about Farrah is, homegirl got that extra power, and so she let that little white light flash ahead of her, and everybody was like, oh, she's blessed, she's this, she's that, this is the curse bringer, blah, 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 blah. And they were like, Ianthe's looking like, she like this still, and she go. Now she got to shake it off. Like, what did happen? Like, what? Why everybody so surprised? Like, what are you doing?
Looking at her.
Yeah, why?
Ain't nobody looking at me.
Yeah, so now she feels stupid because she is. And now she got to sit here and try to act like, oh, that was supposed to happen. Oh, whatever. So when that happened, Farrah was trying to act like, oh, I don't know what's going on. This is amazing. I must be, and everybody's bowing to her and all this other stuff. And so she looked at Lucia, who right by her side, and she give him his hand. She give him her hand. He give her a little bow, little kiss on the hand. Everybody living their best life, and Ianthe over there salty.
Oh, so are you telling me that Farrah did that on purpose?
Yes.
Because I did not know that. I thought that really was happening. Like she
did that on purpose.
Oh.
Yeah, she was like, girl, there was a lot of stuff that happened in this story, especially now that I've listened to it like I don't know how many times. I'm like, she had a lot of stuff in play. She had a lot of stuff in play.
Oh,
but yeah, she did that on purpose, girl. She moved the spot. She made sure that she let out a little bit of her magic so that that bright white light could happen. She tried to make it seem like it was a whole thing, because later on, after that whole thing happened, she was talking to Tam Tam, and she's like, is Ianthe upset with me? And he's like, no, girl, I think she was just a little bit surprised. She wasn't expecting that, but she gonna be all right. She was like, bet.
Right.
So yeah, that's how that whole thing happened. That mess was funny. Yeah. Funny.
But I had no idea that she did that on purpose. I was thinking this like she really did. She the curse breaker.
She orchestrated the whole thing.
That is too funny. No one ever saying is just killing himself laughing down about her, honey.
Exactly. That's why he was like, oh, the blessed one. Oh, because he's like, girl, you funny as hell for that. She's like, I know. You like what I'm doing out here? That's why.
That was too funny.
Yeah.
And the way you animated, she was like, oh.
She was like, oh, it's gonna. She was like, wait. No, not for me. Okay, because something that they mention is nobody has seen Ianthe have any type of magic.
Right.
So they like, we don't even know what homegirl got. Like, we don't know what she here for. We don't know what she doing. We don't even think she got magic, because nothing that she has ever done has been with magic. So they think she just exists. Girl.
Where she would come from?
Girl.
Because she's a high lord.
She's a high priestess, yeah.
But where she come from?
Girl, I remember her family and them was in the town over when all the stuff went down, and she came back. I don't know what the rest of her family did. Girl, I don't know, but they was in some area, remember? Because when all the stuff went down and everybody was captive and all that, her and her people was doing fine on some other space of land. And then they came back.
I wonder, because I thought the spring court was right next to the summer court, honey.
I think it is. I think it is. I don't know. I don't either, girl. I don't know if they were on the continent. I don't know if they were on another space of land, but they was somewhere. They wasn't where all that stuff was going down at. They went to a whole other location.
Right.
So that was that. But yeah. So that happens, and then so after the solstice and all that stuff went down, they were having a party or whatever, and so homegirl was trying to kind of plot things so that Tamtam's little group could be destroyed from within. So she's doing a whole bunch of stuff to make sure that happens, and in doing that, she's making it seem like Lucian is kind of more into her than it seems. She's trying to make it look like Tam Tam is not up to be the high lord of his little area. She's trying to make it seem like Ianthe on her mess, which she is, so she wasn't wrong about that. And I just remembered the lady's name. Her name was Alice. Mm-hmm. That's what that name was. Yeah. So you was right. So I'm trying to think if I'm going too far ahead though.
That happening at the same time. No. That at the same time, like that's all going on at the same time.
Yeah.
And
she's orchestrated everything.
She and also with Lucian.
Right.
Because because remember she was asleep at night. She was supposed to be having that nightmare, and she got up hollering. And now she's across the hall from Lucia. She ain't in that bedroom with Tamla no more. She's in
Right.
another room. So she in that room, and she's screaming and hollering. Here comes Lucia, looking all good and fine.
Ain't no shirt.
Put his
He
pants
ain't got
on
no
and his
shirt on.
Yeah, like what's wrong? What happened? What happened? Then she get to telling him, here comes Tamla, like, what's going on? What
Wait,
I do?
can we just
And
wait?
Faye
Can we
was
talk about real quick the reason why that whole thing even happened to begin with is because when they had that little party or whatever, they was dancing and whatnot. She was giving Tam Tam little touches and little eyes and winks and all this other stuff, thinking that he had, because like you said, they hadn't done anything, and so she trying to make it seem like, okay, we about to be on and popping. Let me go see her in her room, because she knew that she was doing all that stuff and he was gonna come down to her room.
yeah,
So she put into
yeah.
place having that nightmare so that she could go to Lucian's room and have all that stuff occur. She was being fast, Britt. She was being fast, but she had a point to prove. That's why she was doing it. That's why she was
Right,
doing
but
it
girl was doing this job so well.
so
I really thought that
well,
her and Lucian was gonna be together. Like
girl.
I
Did
really
you?
thought Lucian like I thought something was gonna
No,
happen.
girl. But go ahead and say what happened in the room, girl.
Okay, so she get in there where she had a nightmare, and Lucia coming there with half naked, looking all fine with his red hair and his metal eye and all that good stuff. And then here come Tamlin coming here like, what y'all got going on? What's happening? And he was like, oh, she had a nightmare and she needed help and whatever. And he was like looking at him like, you better back off. Like she going back in her room. He kept telling him back off, back off.
He
Cause
said, "Back
now
up off my
he
woman."
like really feeling like something happening.
Because that's like 3 instances where he's done something that either that has him touching her or whatever. So he like, what you want with my woman? Don't you got your own mate? Like, why you over mine? And what's so crazy about it is she was like, I had a nightmare, and Tam Tam's like, no, but like, Lucian, what's up, bro? And she's like, hey, bro, I had a nightmare. Take me to my room. Homegirl not slick though. She put on some lingerie on
Right.
top of that. So homegirl had this cute ass
Silky.
outfit on and was like, I don't, I just had a nightmare. And then Tam Tam took her back to her room and she gonna say some, hey cousin. Homegirl gonna take her back to the room and she like, all right, have a good night. Slam that door in his face.
Right. And Lucia, man. But for real, the girl was playing her part because I really
She
thought they was
was.
like about to link up. Like,
Yeah, girl. She was doing her thing.
So that was about it. Like I said, she has got a game plan going on. So then, like, the next couple of days, keys get to missing. So when these keys get missing, honey, the keys got missing. They like, who got the keys? The guard was supposed to be on duty. Where he at? Well, Anthony was like, oh, he should be punished. He should be punished because he lost the keys. And then the guard was like, spoke up and was like, well, she had something to do with it.
So
she made
the reason why he even said that is because homegirl Farrah was like, let me slide this into his mind. So she orchestrated this too. So she set everything in play because she knew homegirl was upset about the solstice and the sun rising not in her favor. So she was like, let me go ahead and put this into motion because I know she's gonna try to do some stuff to get back in the good graces of the court. And she was right. And so she was like, let me put this whole plan in this guard's head so that when stuff starts coming out, he's going to start remembering and it's going to be pointing fingers at Ianthe, which you did.
Right. Which happened. And she was like, I want to hear what the guard got to say. Cause like, Ianthe was like, y'all really going to listen to this peasant? I'm high faith. Y'all ain't going to listen to me. Don't listen to him. And like Tamlin was like, yeah, we ain't even gonna. She is her face, so let's pay her attention what she's saying. And Farrah like, no, I want to hear what he got to say. I want to hear it. And now they looking at him like, well, who are you? Who are you? You have no title.
And it's so crazy. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. I
said it's so crazy because Tam Tam has been really close to the Centurions. Like they was like dogs. Like they had each other's back no matter what. They had that whole relationship in the first book where he was like sending them out. Like they would have done anything for that man. So they had a better bond than that. And the fact that he was listening to Anthony was causing problems with the Centurions, because now they're like, well, what happened to all the stuff that we've been doing for you, bro? Like, you really gonna believe her over us? So yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. So like that he basically was believing him. Feyre had no like say because she didn't have no title. And so she was like, really ain't nobody gonna listen to what this man got to say? Like, I wanna hear what happened or whatever. But they end up listening to her, and the Centuries turned against Tamala. Well, not all the way, but they was like looking at him like, you really listening to this girl, and we didn't had your back all these years.
Exactly. So Tam Tam was beating the Century because that's what Anthony said that he needed to do, and they felt some type of way about that whole thing. But Farrah, being the bad bitch that she was helping them. She called them by name. She was helping them clean up after that whole incident happened, and she's like, I'm really sorry I couldn't do more, and all this other stuff. So now they for real looking at Tam Tam crazy because they're like, wow, we ain't got no respect for this man, because what is he doing? This high priestess ain't nobody. So, but go ahead. So after that whole situation happens, what happens next?
So after that whole situation, now they're talking about they want to see the holes in the wall. Is there some holes in the wall after the cauldron did what it did to her sisters or whatever? Now there's holes all in the wall, and they want to find those holes. So days and days they're looking and repairing. I don't know if they're repairing it. They're not repairing it, is that? They just want to see it because why?
So Dagnan and Branna needed to see it because, like I said, they're nephew and niece of Hybern, and Hybern wanted to know like what the weak spots were so that they can, because the goal at the end of the day is to destroy the wall completely.
Right.
So what they ended up doing was just going to inspect what parts of the wall had those holes, but that the wall is massive, so they're doing this over a course of days. And so Farrah was like, "Hey y'all, like I want to be a part of this whole little mission." And Tam Tam was like, all right, bet. And then Lucian was like, I'm going to go with her. And he was like, okay, bet. So for the first couple of times that they go, it's them two with Dagnan and Branna.
Right. And now they like asking, like Ferris asking Lucian questions about how they can get out of the bargain with Hybern and all this stuff. And Lucian is like saying, no, they cannot get out of the bargain. Bargains are pure magic. And if they get out of those bargains or try to get out of those bargains, that stuff can happen to them, like even death. So, no, they can't get out of those bargains. But he also was telling her about how when she left that last time, how he tore up the manor, killed some centuries, and all this stuff while she left. So, around that same time, they see the 3 children of the blessed.
Yes.
So they see these 3 children by the blessed. These kids, honey, to me, they like some teenage brats that's running away home because their mom and daddy got mad at their mom and daddy. And that's how it felt.
Yeah.
And so they was like trying to like kind of give themselves to them. And Fair was like, y'all don't even know what y'all doing. Y'all out here just doing stupid stuff, like go. Get out of here. And Dagnan and Brandon was like, oh, we can have fun with them.
Yeah.
So when I listened to that, it felt like very like sexual.
So I think because they were who they were just trying to do any old thing, which was in their nature. And I don't know if it was a sexual thing. It may have been. I just got that they were about just harming folks that were not like them. That's what I got from it.
Like talking like, oh, we can have fun with y'all.
Because they were about to do whatever they was going to do with them. But homegirl, Farrah, was like, she said, let me put something in their head real quick so they could understand what they up against. And so she sent out little things into their head so that they could know that what was going on. And so, yeah. So they turn around and go about their merry way. But Dagnan and Brennan wasn't about to let that happen. Mind you, while they out on the wall doing the perimeter or whatever, they have to stay out there because they're pretty far away. Like it takes a second to get out there. So they staying out there.
Right.
So they go about their business. Lucian and Farah, they go to sleep. They got the same tent. And then
Which
Dag
she intended on.
which intended.
Fully intended on.
And then Dagden and Brenna go do their own thing. But come to find out, when they wake up, they have killed the children of the Blessed. Is that what their name is?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the children of the
Blessed. So yeah. So now they're doing that. So now they feel some type of way, and they sent the bogey after them. The bomb. Yeah, they sent that after them. Something like that. They sent it after them, and they got pretty messed up, but they were able to get out of it. But Tam Tam felt some type of way about that whole situation happening. He was like, why would you do that? These are our allies. These are the people that we're supposed to be protecting. You can't be doing this to them. And Lucian was like, man, listen, this is what's going on. And Tam Tam wasn't having that because he was pretty fed up with Lucian at this point. So her and Tam Tam get into it. It's a whole big thing. Now, you remember the last time they got into it, Homegirl shielded herself when all the stuff went flying. Homegirl is smart. She said, so they got into it again, except this time, and he was throwing stuff. He was real upset because she was pretty much like, you might feel like you can do this. She's like, but I'm not going to get on my knees. And she, in essence, was like, I'm not about to be sucking old boy's dick like you sucking his dick, so you need to figure it out. And he felt some type of way about that because he's like, I ain't sucking nobody's dick. And then he got mad. he got mad, felt some type of way, so now he want to throw stuff all over the place. And Homegirl was like, babe, you have your little tantrum, I'm not gonna block myself. And she don't. And Homegirl was beat up bad, and people saw it, and people saw her afterwards and were like, bro, you really tripping right now. Like, you are tripping right now.
And then
so
he was like, Farah, stop. I love you.
I love you. I'm so sorry. Forgive me. Bro, what? You got a temper, bro. You need anger management.
Right.
Girl.
Yeah, now you see that Farah got this. She might be bigger than you, and you want to,
Girl, a mess. A hot mess. So now Homegirl is trying to recover from these injuries because she got pretty beat up badly. And
can I put this in real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
So when they was like hunting for the walls and stuff, now Dorian was there too.
Jorian.
How you say it?
Jorian.
Okay, I said Dorian. That's my cousin bag. Jorian was there too. So Jorian, this.
Oh yeah, this is important.
Jorian was telling her about why him and what was the girl name?
You talking about the Marion? Yeah.
He was telling her the whole story about Marion and all this stuff, and how he really wasn't saying the real story then. Yeah. But he was telling her why he was looking for Marion and what they did to him and why he was on Highburn side. Okay. That's important, need to be put in there. Okay, now you go back.
Yeah, no, that is super important because yes. So she's trying to recover from all of her injuries because she's very much injured. Had she been human, she probably would have died. And so she has the bond still, and Reese could sense what happened, and he's like, I want him dead. I don't have any questions. I don't want to talk about nothing. We gonna ride out at sunset because he got my girl out here messed up. If he think he gonna do this and it's just gonna be okay. He was about to ride about that girl. He did not play about her, not one bit. So she was like, it's fine. I'm good. I'll be home soon. Like, don't you worry. We'll figure it out together. She's like, I already got stuff at work. It's about to happen. So they didn't go out to the wall that time because she just felt too weak and still struggling so much from the injuries. So they end up going out at some point. I'm just going to skip to this part. And then when they go out to the wall again. So at some point she's getting ready they're going to go to the wall at another point. But before that happens, her and Alice have a conversation. She said, and Alice, I don't know why, but Alice, I don't think this was the case, but Alice reminded me of an old black auntie.
She really did.
Don't she?
Yeah.
She do.
When I was listening to the story, I just thought about her going, yeah, okay, girl.
Right, like, girl. Like, just giving her those really words of wisdom, but also being like, girl, I know what you're doing. You not fooling nobody. Like, it's okay. You could do that. Just make sure me and mine are good, and we'll be cool. So, homegirl they were having a conversation, but Farrah's still trying to act like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. What is going on? Did you see that? What was that? I don't know what's happening. Okay, anyway, that was weird. I was like, what the heck? Or no, they were going to go out to the wall again.
That's right. That's right. So this time they was going out to the wall. They had been out to the wall a couple times now. And what happened was that they started seeing the holes in the wall. They see we already talked about the children of the blessed. And this time she was like, I can go now. Ain't this around the time?
Yeah, because she was talking to Dagden and Branna, and was like, why are y'all trying to do this anyway? Y'all got army. Why do you need the cauldron for? And they was like, you stupid girl. We need this because da-da-da. They gave her all the tea about what they was about to do. She was like, oh, that's it? Yep. She was like, I got all the information I need tonight. Oh, so that's where we stopped at. Alice. She was talking to Alice because Alice was like, hey, girl, everybody talking about you came back different or wrong. And I just say that you came back right, finally. That she was who you supposed to be. She said, I don't know what you got planned, girl, but leave me and my nephews out of it. I don't want no smoke. So you keep that shit over there. She was like, girl, I don't know what you're talking about.
She was like, yeah, because Favorite kept saying, I don't know what you're talking about. She was like, girl, I got a cousin that work over there at the summer court where you was at.
You look real happy.
Looking very healthy. You was looking real healthy and laughing and kicking it up.
Yeah, it was definitely not giving hostage. Right. Right. She said you was not a hostage, boo, but it's cool. You could go ahead and play your little game over here, but just know I know the truth. Yeah. She said, and then right. So by this point, they had that conversation, and she was like, "Hey, girl, let me just keep it a buck with you. I'm about to dip out today. Get your behind to the summer court. Do not look back." Because it's about to get real out here at the spring court. And she was like, bet. So her and her nephews had a whole plan. They was about to get out the city, and that was just going to be that on that. So now we at the wall, and it's her, Tam, Jorian, Dagnan and Branna, and Lucian, and like a couple of Centurions. That last time they went out, Tam was there.
When she was leaving?
I think so. Because her and she was out. She was about to bounce, and then Lucian and Ianthe was together. Jorian and Tam was together in a completely different area, and that's how that all went down. Mm-hmm.
So they were just doing their thing, and she like, man, I could dip up out of here. I done found all the information I need to know. They done told me that their army is 200,000. They deep.
They rolling real deep.
We weren't even ready for that, but at least we know.
Yeah.
So now she like, you know what? I can go now. I can if I time it right, I can winnow out in and out and get where I need to be.
Right.
So that was her plan. So she started to do that, and then she heard this talking in the woods, and she was like, should I go? Should I go? And because she's always been a hero,
always. Girl, wouldn't even look back. Lucian
would have just been there. Okay.
And that's it. Girl.
You already had that booty in.
Girl.
So.
And this is what's so crazy is because she had all these plans in place already. She was like, all right, so we about to do X, Y, and Z. I already put this in place so that they think that I was being attacked because they saw what happened a few days ago. So they already have this in their head. So I'm a bounce, and then I'm gonna release it so that they can have those thoughts, and then everything will be fine. And then we're gonna show them that Tam and Ianthe even try to put up a fight, that they just let her go. And so she was like, all right, bet, I got this plan in place. But then
she heard Tamlin in the woods, Lucian in the woods, out there screaming, stop.
Get off me.
But But Auntie was like, "What's wrong? We done this before. Don't act like you didn't know." And then she was like, I would have thought, after you and Pharaoh," he was like, "It is not like that. It is not like that." And she was like, "I can't tell. I can't tell." So what? You getting jealous? You getting jealous? So she proceeded to try to touch on him when he didn't want her to touch him, like literally groping him. And Pharaoh came about the wheelhouse like the hero she is.
Always.
Sometimes I don't want her to be a hero.
Right. I just want you to leave. Just go.
Thank you. So she's out there. She's like, "Get your hand off of him. Leave him alone." Then she put the spell on her to kind of
control her mind. It wasn't a glamour. No, it's because she's Damati, she had this thing to control your mind. So she did her little Damati thing and was like, "Y'all, put your hands off, get your hands off of him." And she took her hands off, and Lucian like, "What's going on?" And she like,
because Lucian didn't know she had this power,
right? Because she didn't used to have it. So I mean, I think she always had it, but she didn't know how to tap into it until she was at the night court.
Right.
So she telling her all this stuff to have her to do so that she can get off Lucian, because in the previous story, Rhysand was telling her all this information about what his beef was with Ianthe, because she was like, "Why you got such crazy beef with Ianthe?" And he was like showing her what happened. So Ianthe has a habit of touching on folks when they don't want her to. So she had a habit of touching on folks when they didn't want her to, because she tried to do the same thing with Rhys, and he wasn't going for that. So she was feeling some type of way, because she's like, "I'm tired of this hoe always trying to touch on people, and they don't want her touching on them. She need to learn her place." So go ahead, girl.
So, she was like, "Get your hand off of him." And she looking at her like, "Who you think you are?" And she was like controlling her. And she was like, "Put your hand on that rock. Take that rock and smash your hand. Keep on smashing it. Keep on smashing it." And she had to do it all of it. Like her hands was bleeding, broken. And she was like, "And every time you want to touch on somebody like that, you think about that. You think about how you doing everybody. Don't touch nobody ever again unwanted when they don't want you to touch them." And then she told her, "And when you go back, tell Tamlin what she wanted to tell Tamlin."
I don't remember what she wanted to tell Tamlin, but I remember her saying that you can, like say that she had gotten attacked or something like that, and that she can go to a healer, but she can't have them fix something. They can't remove it, or they can't patch her up, but they can help her heal or something like that. So that's what that was going to be. But as this is happening, near the tail end of it, Dagnan and Brandon pop up on the scene, and they like, "Oh, so Lucian looking crazy," because he like, "What is going on?" And Brandon like, "She a Damati like us, and she thought she had this whole plan in place, but oh, by the way, we didn't been poisoning y'all, so y'all not gonna have no powers in about 5 minutes."
Right, but that apple you been eating the whole time, honey.
It had Faebane.
Right, got Faebane in it, and you ain't about to do nothing.
Nope.
And so, Faebane is so strong, and I guess Lucia too, that even with that Faebane, they still killed him.
Yeah, but I think the thing was they were not prepared for her to be a fighter. They were prepared for her to use her mind and her magic only. They wasn't expecting her to fight. And so Brenna didn't have no hands. And Dagnan, even though he was like this big old warrior, he also didn't have hands like that when it came to Farrah, because Farrah been training with Cassian. And Cassian ain't no joke, because he an Illyrian warrior.
Okay.
Yeah. So Cassian was like, "Look, girl, we gonna train." And she was like, "Bet." And so when it came time for her to fight Dagnan, it was on and popping. She got Brandon taken care of real quick. She was like, "Handle my light work." And then she went over and went to town on Dagnan. So both of them ended up dying.
Baby, the scene was crazy.
Girl. I was like,
how they did it was so crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
so
they killed them in like not a lot of time.
No, because they had time.
She was winnowing out and doing stuff.
Yeah, as much as she could before her power was completely gone, because that's what was happening. She was like, my power about to be gone. So she's trying to leave, and Lucian like, take me with you. She like, I don't got time for this right now. So come on, like just come with me. So they trying to figure out where they about to go.
That she is. You know she got to go to.
Would have got left. Would have gotten left.
Would have been got left because you're not gonna drag me down. But also, it was good for her. It was good that he did.
It ended up being good, yeah, because So they leave out of there. They get as far as they can, but mind you, they only had the clothes on their backs, the weapons that they had on them, and then the food that had been packed up for the time that they was out by the wall. But they couldn't eat that food because the food had been poisoned. So they trying to figure out how to get back to as close to the night court as they can. And
right, so at this part they are at the autumn court.
Yeah. Yep. Which is where Lucian people from. So they trying to hide out or whatever, and Lucian's brothers pop up on them, ready to take them to go see Lucian Daddy. Baron is Lucian Daddy name, which did you finish? You finished the story, right? Okay, so yeah, so it's Lucian Daddy name. But he got 3 brothers. He actually got a bunch of brothers, but 3 of them were the ones that were coming after them to try to get them to go back to talk to their daddy.
And Lucian
what's his name? The baby and the outcast. He don't look like none of them. Homeboy got a tan, red
he got red hair.
I just imagine him being.
Daddy ain't questioning anyway with that red hair.
Girl, I feel like the red hair, the darker skin, he should have been like, so.
Yeah. But I think
who baby this?
It kind of said that he kind of just didn't care at that moment.
Like,
he didn't care enough to ask, like, because they already had a bunch of kids anyway. They wasn't really that close anyway.
Yeah. But I thought that was interesting, because I would have been like, everybody in my head, it sounded like everyone was like blue-eyed blonde hair, and here go Lucian with red hair and dark skin. You know, so I was like, okay.
And baby, they still don't know. They still
don't know. Have no idea. They're just smiling and going through life. Like, all right, cool. So
like his brothers was doing a bunch of stuff like fighting and like being warriors and learning all these skills, like how to be king and all that kind of stuff. Lucian didn't have not one inkling. Like, he did not want to do it at all. Like,
he was not for it at all.
He was not for it. He got to actually learn stuff and actually read that they did not get to do.
Right. That is true. Yeah. And so
that's probably why he was a punk ass.
I mean, low key.
I mean, he wasn't really a warrior when it comes. Like, when you think about Cassie and Ezra, they were warriors. I feel
like Lucian was more so like recon. Like, he could go spy on some shit, but that was really it. Like, he wasn't about to be in the mix, but he was gonna be. He'll get you the information you need, or he'll get the people that you need, but he's not gonna be out there on the front lines fighting. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, trying to think. So they get into this big old fight. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, they get into this fight with the brothers, and they trying to escape or whatever, and they get away enough, and then they're like kind of cool for a second, and they're on like this ice area, which I was a little confused by this, and I wanted to ask you about it. Did it sound like they were just in the middle of outside on an ice cap?
That's
like on the lake?
Like to me, because at some point in my brain, in my imagination, it had ice.
Right.
And then at some part of it did not. And the part that they needed to run had the ice. So did you say that the brothers came around?
Yeah, they was back again. I was getting ready to get to that. Yeah. So they were on this ice cap, like this, I'm gonna just say it was a lake, and they could see the brothers on one side and they were in the middle, and then the place that they needed to go was super far away, and they were like, all right, well, we could try to make a run for it. So they get ready to do that, and homeboy, what's his name, Arius or something like that, the one that one that Moore had history with, his name started with an A too. So hey, so he pop up in front of them, and now he's starting to fight. So he got homegirl by her hair, and the other brother ended up shooting like an arrow or something, and it hit her in her shoulder or something mess like that. So she like trying to fight for her life, but they're also on ice, so they're trying to figure out how to do that. Lucian over there being Lucian, I'm not even sure what he's doing at this point because he ain't been no help so far. And he hasn't been no help except just shouting. That's it. So he going. That's it. So he trying to go and help her. They're trying to get away. She's injured or whatever. So she gets enough space between her and oh boy where she knocks him off of her and she takes off. So now she still has power over ice and fire. So homegirl's like, bet. So I can melt this ice and then I can reform it again. Like this will be cool. I got a little bit of fire. We gonna figure it out. So she blasts it, starts to melt some of the ice. She takes off. She's shooting. They running after her. They trying to get all this stuff taken care of. Don't she kill two of the brothers?
I don't think she killed any of the brothers.
Really?
Did she? I don't remember her killing. And I just know she ran away from them, and they fought. Now they fought, but I don't remember her killing any of the brothers because by the time that happened, that's when the rest of them popped up.
Okay. So it was getting real bad. It was getting real bad for them. And out of nowhere, Cassian shows up, Azrael shows up to help them out because it was not looking good. So Azrael pops up on the scene. Cassian pop up on the scene. They find helping them out. Cassian's so cold though, because he be like, y'all need to lay up off of my lady. Like he don't know that she a high lady, but he knows she family, and he like, you need to lay up off my people. And they like, what you gonna do about it?
He did say high lady because when he said y'all need to let up off my high lady, that's when they was like, high lady.
That's right, because he was like, there's no such thing, and she was like, yes, there is. Me.
Mm-hmm.
You thought, now. Yeah, there is now. You right.
And took that. You see this?
She did. She said, "You see this? You see all this? This is high lady. This is high lady. Yep. You will respect me."
Right. And
you're right.
She was like, "Oh my God, like for real." I knew she was lying.
Right. It was right the whole time. So funny. so funny. So,
but I just want to insert that. I want to insert this piece in. One that the brothers told them, "Oh, we thought y'all ran off together because that's what everybody's saying in the hood."
Everybody thinking that y'all ran off together. Y'all left Tam Tam in his city in ruin.
Right. And also they talked about Lucian's ex-girlfriend and why she dead.
Oh yeah. They got into the story about that. Sorry, there's like a little.
I don't know if it's really important. That part is important.
No. I mean, I'm sure it will become important somewhere later, but.
Yeah. But I just wanted to insert that.
But go ahead, girl, because I feel like I've been talking a lot.
Oh, that's right. So literally I'm just reading where they've been fighting for the last 20 minutes. Oh yeah, she was so surprised because she thought they was not healed and they was completely healed.
That's true, because when they were at the end of the last book, they had gotten messed up pretty bad by Hybrid and them. And so she was like, their wings had gotten completely destroyed. Like it was not looking good, but they were completely recovered, wings and all.
Mm-hmm. So then they got them, and they found out that when they got Lucian and Feyre, Cassian was like, oh, he was with a, what do you call it? Vincera. Yeah, she didn't even know his last name. She was like, a Vincera. And he was like, yeah, a Vincera. That's who you with, blah, blah, blah. They just was talking about that. And she got back. They went on back on over there, got to the night court, and Moore was there, and it was a little reunion with her and Moore because they BFFs, and she looking for Rasan, but she was like, Rasan racing back. He know you here, he feel you, so he coming. So she like, but where he at though? But where he at though?
Mm-hmm.
I want to know where he at too.
Mm-hmm.
But she didn't tell him. I guess she just told him he coming.
Mm-hmm.
So, they got back in town and they kind of was just talking, and Amryn, what's her name? Amryn came and scared the shit out of Lucian.
Because he had heard stories about Amryn.
Lucia's mama had been telling him scary stories about Amryn his whole life.
Mm-hmm.
So when he seen her, he was like scared of. Even though she was in a fake body, he knew who she was. Wow.
Yeah, I see. That's what I was trying to figure out. I was like, was it her eyes? Because that was the only thing that didn't change. But maybe because when he heard her name, I don't know. No, because he knew who she was before they even said her name. I don't know. Maybe her eyes, because her eyes were like silver or something like that.
Yeah. So I still have not really figured out where Amryn is. I really don't understand it. I just know that she was there before everybody else.
She's
almost like a god.
Yeah, she's not like them. She's not like the most of them, but she's like Farrah, her sisters, and a couple of other people that were made. Yeah, she's like those couple of people that were made. So I'm interested to see.
Amryn is like, yeah, that's what I was saying, is I guess she kind of like a god or whatever. So I couldn't understand. Okay, so what they were saying was she kind of stuffed herself in that little. That's how I kind of describe it in the book. Like she was stuffed into that body.
Yeah.
But it wasn't her body. She was just something completely different. You will see at the end of the book.
Yeah.
So,
oh yeah.
Basically, that's all really. And Rasan came, and she seen Rasan, and Rasan seen her. He told them to go play somewhere.
He said, "Everybody get out.
Go play somewhere.
Get out. We got business to take care of."
So, Rasan sees her, tells them, like I said, go play somewhere. Him and her go in the room, and they just kind of talking. I thought they was about to tear each other clothes off.
Girl,
they was in there talking, honey, talking.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I'm like, when y'all gonna get to it? Cause I know if it was me, let's do it. Okay.
Been no talking, no conversation.
Right.
Nothing.
No talking. Like, what we talking for?
Right.
We can talk after.
Right.
And she was like, I guess she kind of felt like, when she was with Tamlin and she kept going back. She kept going back after she came from the night court, and Tamlin would ask her, what happened? What's this? What's that? She expected that out of Rasan, but Rasan was like, nah, you ain't got to do all that.
Yeah, he was like, I want to make sure you're good, girl. I don't care about none of that. We will talk about that at some other time.
Right, because he legit thought she died.
Yeah.
Because he could not feel her through the bond when they put the Fae back. So he thought she was dead, but she wasn't. And she was like, where was you at? He was like, I was on the, what do you call it? The
continent.
Mortal.
He was on the continent, I think they said.
Which is the mortal.
I believe so, yeah. Yeah.
And she was like, what? You went out there by yourself? She was fussing about him not, like, just going out there by himself. And he was like, I was okay. I had to do it, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, so you want to get to this or you want to go take a bath?
He said, I'm going to need you to take a bath, girl, because you got blood and stuff all up on you.
Blood. And she was like, I didn't think I stink like that. He was like, you got another man's blood. I like you, girl. And so she was like, yeah, let me get that bath. So she got taking her bath. And Sam was like, hurry up, girl. Time is ticking. I'm ready. I felt like he was sitting there watching her.
He was. He was watching her, and then she wouldn't know better because she washing herself all slow and really like taking her time. I know he was like, girl, if you don't hurry up, if you don't get this shower done so we can move on.
Yeah, and so Rashan ends up telling her that Tamlin was abandoned. Ain't nobody with him no more. Cause he went looking for her after the bomb went dead.
Mm-hmm.
Like he could the silent. He went looking for her there. She was already gone.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, yeah, the Supreme Court is in ruin, and ain't nobody checking for Tamlin. And she also asked about Ianthe or Ianthe, however you say it.
Yeah.
Jurian, and Jurian went back to the King of Hybern. Then she asked about her sisters, and he was like, your sisters at the House of Wind. They still there. They good. No worries. And just start saying your bond having a lot of sex in that chapter.
Yeah, they did have a lot of sex. That was the rest of the chapter and a part of the next chapter.
Uh-huh. So now we at chapter 15.
All right. So chapter 15 happens. I'm trying to, well, go ahead because I don't know where you have it started at as far as your notes.
Well, chapter 15 is where she was going to see her sisters.
Oh, okay. So Homegirl was going to see her sisters, which, you know, Elaine has been held up in a room, and Nesta been in the other room or whatever, but she been reading a lot. Homegirl still got an attitude, and she gonna have an attitude the rest of this book and probably some of the next. I'm tired of it.
27 books that SJ has made. She gonna have that attitude.
Nesta been angry from the beginning.
She don't have that attitude. She have an attitude with him, but not like the others. That's Cassian.
Her and Cassian, they got to be mates. They have to be mates. So, because he loved her down and she loved him down, but she doing that like, I don't even like him like that whole little thing that people do. So
yeah. And he like, I'll fight for this hoe, but I don't like
right. Like, I will die for you, but I don't like you like that. It's like, okay.
Right.
All right. Just.
And then it's because Cassie legit just get a kick out of her being a bitch.
Right. Yeah. That's facts.
So, you know, it's so funny they like little relationship. But how the bond works is the bond works when it want to work. So if they are mated, you may or may not. No,
I think
like because Lucian and
Elaine
like made it instantly. As soon as they seen each other, they were mates. But with them, they may not mate at the same time. I'll make some.
I feel like Cassian knows. I don't know if Nesta knows yet. And if either one of them do know, if they do both know, they're not trying to acknowledge that mess.
And also Cassian, I don't know if we talked about. I don't think it's time for this.
Okay.
But as we know in the last story, Cassian and Moore always kind of been a thing, but not a thing.
Yeah, but you know how you read how the story ended. This book ended, right? And what she told her. Okay. Right. So it was a thing, but it wasn't a thing.
Whenever they do things, whenever Nesta is around, she be low-key, like she like Nesta, but she low-key be like
looking at her like, why are you after my man? That's not my man, but my man.
Yes. Yes. That's what it means.
Right.
Like, why are you looking at my man, but I don't want him to be my man.
Right. Like, but that's your man. Like, girl, Moore ain't worried about him. She is not worried about him.
But she like Nesta too. Yeah. Like, she don't have no ill will towards Nesta. So.
She just thinks she got an attitude problem, which everybody does think that she got an attitude problem, which she does. Right. And she be treating her sister so wrong. Like, that girl did so much for her family, and she just so rude to her, and it's crazy. Girl, but anyway.
Okay, yes, we know you turned into Faye. We know you got more beautiful. And we know you don't want to be Faye. And you got eternal life forever. We know you don't want to do this. We know that. But do you think I wanted to do it? Baby, because I was out there hunting in them woods at 14 years old.
To make sure that we all ate. Right, to make sure we all ate. That was it.
We all ate. Girl. Well, my daddy was up there shaking with that leg.
But you know what? I'm glad to hear that he's doing well. He's out because Nessa had an attitude about something. She's like, what you think our daddy gonna say when he get back to land from his little trip? You know, his daughter's not there. He gonna have to hear da-da-da-da. And she's like, girl, we ain't even there yet. We will figure it out we will cross that bridge when we get to it. But right now, that is not the issue. That is not the focus. We will figure it out when we get there. Like, right. Chill. She have an attitude the whole entire time.
Me and Nessa would have been fine.
Girl, what?
Cause that's about that. Baby, she got the worst
The
attitude.
worst. And anything that anybody has done so far has been to make sure that she and Elaine have been straight.
But guess who she ain't gonna have no attitude with? Amber.
Because Amber ain't gonna play that either. Because Amber and her, I can't wait to read Nesta's story because I feel like Amber and her are about to be so close. But I also feel like they about to bump heads a lot because they both got this power that is undetermined. Like I feel like Nesta's power is something crazy, and Amber, we already know Amber power. Wow. So I feel like it's about to be
the same. They got the same, like, you know how Favor got a little bit of everybody. Like Nesta got something. I think she got something of all the dark people.
Yeah, I think she got death. Yeah. Well, and I'm almost certain.
We know that part.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, you know how all the bogey and
the Carver and yeah.
Carver, like they all got different powers.
Yeah.
And I think Nesta got a little bit of all those powers. Like Favor got a little bit of all the high.
Yeah.
She got a little bit of these crazy dark powers.
Yeah, I agree because there's a part in the story and it's not really that big of a deal, but I kind of want to bring it up. It's a little bit later, but I'm gonna bring it up now because the rest of the story we can just go with. But there's a part in the story where they're at dinner or whatever, and Farrah ask Nessa to kind of tell her story while they go to the courts and things like that and talk to everybody, all the high lords from the different courts. And homegirl's pissed and she's like, I ain't doing that. I said I'll go to the night court with y'all, but I ain't gonna do all that. You're not about to have me whoring my story, blah 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 blah. And I wish any of you, girl,
on my eyes and on my darkness. I want to do nothing,
girl. And she's talking about, and I wish any of y'all would come and step to me about that. And they was like, girl, what is wrong with you? But at the time when she's doing all this, her eyes is changing.
I wish y'all would.
I wish y'all would. And they was like, girl, low key. Low key.
And don't talk to my sister either.
Right. And I wish I would go over there because I'll pull out all y'all throats. They was like, girl, but she's so hype about it that her eyes is like firing up and tripping. And so Lucia like, where are you? And she gonna say, so I went into the cauldron and I made it give me something in return. I was like, girl, how you make a bargain with the cauldron? Like, what are you? What are you? How you going in there demanding stuff?
Right. Because they kept saying she took some from the cauldron. But even she really didn't know.
Yeah.
What she took from the cauldron.
Yeah, I don't think she still know what she took, but she knows she took something.
I bet you we'll know in book 5.
We sure will, and I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Yeah, so she met up with her sister. She figured out that Elaine ain't the child. She ain't the child. She looking at the mirror. She thinks she crazy at this point because she be just saying stuff.
She be talking like riddles.
But it be stuff that don't make sense to them, but it makes sense in the future. It makes sense in the future. That's when I think they start figuring out that Elaine can see the future.
What they call her, a seer?
Oh, I don't know.
I think they called her
a seer.
A seer.
Baby, because she can see miles and miles and miles away.
Well, not just that, but she can see into the future. Yeah. So, I guess
but
kind of the future.
Miles and miles
well, yeah, miles and miles away as well, because homegirl peeped a lot. She peeped a lot.
So Elaine just ain't there, and they like, oh, like what's going on with Elaine? But and took Lucian over there. Why would you take Lucian over there as soon as he got there? You know she.
And Nesta had a problem with that.
Yeah, I would have had a problem too because really, you know, she ain't ready for it.
No.
Look at her.
No.
She literally had not ate or drank nothing.
She ain't seen outside. She ain't touched no grass. She ain't done nothing.
So the whole time she been fake, she never ate yet. That's crazy to me because if she was human, she would have been dead.
Girl, you know what? So this is what I want to talk about because we already passed this part where they was eating, but I want to talk about this. So the spring court reminds me of like probably like the most random blend area that you can think of. And I feel like the night court in Valeris is for us. It's the more urban area that's got seasonings and good food and all that, because I was thinking about it when Farrah was back in the spring court. She was like, this food tastes disgusting. And when she got back
Yeah.
to Valera, she was like, "It's so flavorful," and I'm like, "They ain't had no spices up there. They ain't had no seasoning."
Let me just say this about the food, right? So I know y'all don't know this. You don't know this. You can take this out if you want. But in the new book, Lucia by himself, and they go to that Supreme Court. Where Sandu go to the Supreme Court, and he ain't got no food. And they asked where Lucian was at, because Lucian goes back at some point to help him. He was like, he's out here hunting. But I thought in book one they did like this and food came up.
No, that they did. Oh wait, I don't know if that was there. I think it was in the night court that they did that. Actually, no, because when they had all that fruit and stuff for when she first got there, and she was eating all the food that in her face. I thought they did do that. I don't know,
Food came
girl.
up, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Why they creating unseasoned food? I don't understand. They couldn't they couldn't snap their fingers for some
I don't
seasoning,
know,
some salt.
but I just was thinking, I was like, what the crap? Like, why is Lucia even looking for food if they do like this, the food could come up? Because in that book, they was like, we don't have nobody here to cook the food. We don't have nobody here to get the food. I'm so confused, but I guess we'll see when we get. I don't know. That's what it said in the new book.
I don't know.
But anyway, I just thought about that. I actually was thinking about that today.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. So I don't know. I'm gonna start reading that book. I gotta start reading that book.
You'll be done by tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I know it's a short one, so I'm gonna read that book. But yeah, it just sounded like Valeris and the night court and all that had the seasoning, and the spring court didn't have no seasonings. So
basically, she's still at the house talking to her sisters, and that's
okay. Yeah.
They find us in the library reading. Cassie and been teasing her. She's still very short with Pharaoh,
which is wild, but whatever.
And then be like, don't worry about me. Just be talking to Pharaoh like, don't worry about me. Don't worry about where I be. I've been up here. Don't worry about where I be. Where you be? Like, just talking to her like that.
Like, girl.
So I guess they had like just kind of talked to them, figured out that the sister wasn't right. Then they started talking about Pharaoh want to start training. So she's like, Nestor, you want to start training? Nestor was like, nope, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing shit.
She said, I can have somebody else do that for me. What do I got to do it for?
Yeah, don't ask me. Don't ask me no more, because I ain't doing shit, okay? And she was like, well, okay, well, I'm about to go learn how to fly. Can you teach me how to fly? Because she remembered that she can conjure up these wings because she was part of a shapeshifter like Tamlin. So she had,
oh yeah, Tamlin. Yep. Yep.
And so she can get these wings. She was like, y'all gonna help me learn how to fly, and I think Azrael was gonna help her learn how to fly. And then I think they decided that Amryn was just going to help
Nesta. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the only person that really could talk to her. Is Amryn, because she was not she don't come from Amryn.
No, because she already knew what it was, but she had all the time for everybody else, but Amryn wasn't playing that. But she was going to do mental blocks and things, because by this point they've decided that they're going to go to the night court again to talk to Kier, which is Moore's daddy, to see if they could get them to join them in the fight. Now, the thing with the night court is they have their own governing, like own governorship or whatever. So they don't necessarily need to fight in it if they don't want to. Like, they have the option to do so. They haven't joined in on a fight in years.
Right, and it's a bargain between the night court and Valar's court.
It's like, it's been something that's been in place for hundreds and hundreds of years, and they typically are like, nah, we good.
Yeah,
So
because Faye was like, can't you just make them? Can't you just make
right.
them fight? He was like,
Yeah. No, can't do that. That's against the rules.
right.
So they got to
And
go down there.
we have talked about the story of Moore, right?
We talked
In the last story.
about it, I think, in the last story. I think.
So I'm just gonna give you guys a quick recap that remember that Kier is Moore's daddy, and Kier was trying to marry Moore off to the Autumn Court, which is Lucian's brother. Don't ask me Lucian's brother name.
Start with it.
Something with A. And Moore decides she ain't gonna marry him, and she gonna have sex with Cassian and lose her virginity, so she ain't gotta get married. And then the daddy get mad. The daddy put Moore out. Moore ended up at in Valaris with Sam.
Mm-hmm.
So now we at the part where, is this the part where they Sam was talking about they're gonna have to go talk to Kier about getting his army to help fight in the war? Because honey, remember the High Lord, not the High Lord, the King of Highburn has an army of 200,000 or more.
Yeah, they stacked.
Right. So now they just trying to find some people to help them, because they ain't got that many people. They probably got 250,000.
Maybe.
Or yeah, or that, or less. Maybe they ain't got
the numbers like the King of Highburn got. They just don't.
Yeah, yeah. So they trying to figure out, let's go see Kier. Moore is like, no. He not gonna help. Why y'all gonna go over here and let him come over here? Because that was like the only way to get, like they had decided, okay, to get them to fight, don't they have to give them something? They had already decided that they was probably going to have to give them something to help them to get them to help them fight.
Yeah.
And Moore was like so against it, because she's like, no, this is my refuge. Like, this is my domain. I don't want them over here. Oh, what I want to mention is that they did talk before they went to see Kier and stuff, or talked about Kier going to see Kier. They were talking about Drake and Marion, and they actually went to look for them, and they were already gone.
So that was the thing that was interesting, because they couldn't find them at all, and they were just like, well, we try to go get them and their help, because apparently they got a pretty big army too, but they like, there's no traces of that where people used to be or nothing. So that's out.
They also in the process of repairing this wall too. So where the twins was going to look at the holes, Rosanne and them are trying to repair those holes. I wanted to
that yeah. They want to try to repair them, and they think that Amryn, Farah, and Nesta and the other sister may be able to fix it, because it was done by the cauldron, and they were all made from the cauldron. I remember. Oh, they had this. I don't remember what chapter this is, but I think it's either 18 or 19 or somewhere. It's in the teens, but they have this idea, because Amryn was needing to find more information about the wall, and she's like, I need y'all to go to the library and like get some stuff. So her and Rhysand go down. That's chapter 20 when they go down to the library.
The whole them going to see Kier has not happened yet. They talked about it going there, and Moore was mad, but they haven't made it yet, because they hadn't even made it to the library where they met Clotho. Yeah. So what they were doing was trying to find more information about the wall, trying to figure out how long the wall been there, and the history of the wall. And they like to go in the libraries, because if they find no other better history, it's in that freaking libraries. So they went to the library, and she like, what is down that hole? And he like, I don't know. You can ask Cassian, because he's the only person that know, and he ain't told nobody. So that's what's down that hole. But they was in the library. They met Clotho. How you say it? Clotho?
Clortho, I think.
Clortho. And she was a priestess. So they just kind of talked about the background of all the priestesses. So I guess Clortho was molested back in the day.
Yeah, she was in a situation where she was attacked,
Right.
and they messed her up pretty bad.
A couple of men.
Mm-hmm. And not only did they mess her up, but they were healing her at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And they cut her tongue out her mouth.
And they messed up her hand so that she couldn't write either. They took her tongue out so she couldn't speak, and they messed up her hand so she couldn't write.
Right, but Sam read her mind, found her, read her mind, and he wanted to heal her, but she didn't want it. She didn't want the healing that he wanted, but he was able to understand where she came from, what happened, and give her refuge. So since then, all the priestesses was living in these libraries. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say they were the high priestess that all had like some, I don't want to say similar situations, but they were high priestesses that had been in some situations that were not great for where they were, and so that was like their own little refuge, which they created their own temple for. So that library in that area was their temple.
So Rasan and them was like, okay, let's do some work. So while they get in there, they get to work, they get to thinking about each other and how, they get all hot and bothered. And then he was like, let me get 20 minutes, dang.
He said, get up off me.
Funny to me. It's funny to me because it sounds like my husband.
That is so funny.
Like, stop. We didn't done this. Now stop. So that's how it just sounded to me. He was like, let me get 20 minutes of work ready, dad. And so he was doing his like little study. She kind of was doing her study. I think they found out that the wall was not supposed to be permanent. It was only supposed to be for a certain amount of time till they figured something out, because at that time, human and fae kind of were living together. At one point, it kind of just turned around on them, where now human were starting to be slaves and all this kind of stuff was happening. So that's why the war happened, which they fought in that last war, which is what we talked about in the beginning. And they ended up putting that wall up to separate human and fae so they can live free. Oh, Pharaoh told them that while they have the numbers, they got the monsters.
Yeah. So okay, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
So Pharaoh was like, you know what, we can get these monsters on our hand, because we got all these monsters and caves and stuff like that. We got Amber, and we can really do sometimes. We don't have the numbers, but we got these monsters here that can do something. And that's when the stuff started clicking in, and that's the end of chapter 20.
Yep. So this is the end of chapter 20, like Lisa said. They are now trying to figure out how... Oh, okay. They're trying. I'm gonna just hold it because we're done anyway. They're trying to figure out how they're gonna use these monsters, and they are, they're gonna go from there. So our next episode will be chapters 21 through like what, 40 something, 30. Maybe give or take 30. Okay, we'll do chapter 21 through 30.
A couple of episodes to get through this book.
Yeah,
because we kind of don't want to give y'all the book the review that we reviewed last time. The last book that what was the last one? Mr. Fury. We kind of chopped and screwed that thing up.
Yeah, because there's a lot.
It's a lot of details in these books, and I literally have to write it down just so I can remember, because I know the book, but it's so much detail that you forget, and we don't want to not give y'all these details. So we're doing it 1 through 20, 20 through 30, or 40, and on until we get this book read for y'all.
Yeah. So tune in for our next episode. Follow us on Insta. On TikTok, our YouTube is up. We have videos and stuff on there. You can email us. We still have our recommendation list. I don't know if y'all have been listening or not, but we've been doing like a little live thing where we've been reviewing this story. Listening, actually, we haven't been reviewing it. We've just been listening to it. It is called A live
A
listen,
live
yeah.
listen.
Mm-hmm. It's called The Old Thought Next Door, and very interesting. By Quan Mills. So if you guys want to pop in one time when we're doing that, definitely join in on the fun. I don't know if we're gonna do. I don't. We'll figure that out later on.
We'll let you guys know.
But yeah, yeah. Tune in next time for our next episode.
Yeah. Bye.